Hey everybody, it's Tell the Truth Sports Radio. I'm your host Ron Fitch, and I'm gonna break down all the big games this weekend, and I'm gonna go right into it. Dolphins, Bills. This is a tough matchup for the Dolphins. It's gonna be sleet. I'm looking at the weather. Ooh. And it's gonna be seriously cold, and it's gonna be wet. And Tua's not super accurate. Tua's not super strong. He's accurate when he has the time and he has the ability to allow Tyreek Hill and Waddle to run those crossing routes, and they run wild. And teams are starting to take that away. And Tua's got to be able to throw guys open. And sometimes he doesn't have the ability. He's going to have to really play well in this game. It's going to be tough. They're going to have to run it a little better. And they, the Bills are second in the NFL in points allowed. And their defense is playing really good, even without Von Miller. And I wonder if the Von Miller absence will show in the playoffs when you need that closing pass rusher like a Bosa, Parsons, and both Bosas, Parsons, and all those great game closing like Aaron Donald and guys like that. But the problem is the weather. Number one. Number two, but Coach McDermott for the Bills. He's 9-2 against the Dolphins. They're 5-0 in Buffalo. So they have a 5-game winning streak. They want to win the division. They want home field advantage, at the very least, the 2 seed. Because they have a really tough schedule to try to close out, and Kansas City might win out. And Buffalo hasn't went out to get the home field, but it's going to be problematic because of the fact that they have to go at Chicago, which could be a pain in the neck, and then at Cincinnati, that could be a problem for Buffalo. And then the Patriots at Buffalo, but the Patriots could be fighting for their lives to get in, and maybe they upset Buffalo. Buffalo's got to win in Cincinnati. Maybe they don't win that game. So I think Buffalo's going to lose one more game in Kansas City. If they play their potential and do what they're supposed to do, they're probably going to run the table and they'll get the 1 seed. But Buffalo's not losing this game this week. I can tell you right now. I just think Josh Allen and company will do what they have to do to make it 6-0, 6 straight wins at home. They got beat by Miami in the sweltering heat. It's funny. The sweltering heat took down the Bills. The cold is going to hurt the Dolphins. But these are two close to evenly matched teams. Now, I will say this. Buffalo better put the game away. Because you could be beating the Dolphins and beating them, and you're up maybe 13 with 4 minutes left, and boom, bomb the hill, boom, bomb the Waddle. All of a sudden, you're like, wait a second. We dominated this football game. How in the world did we lose this game? They are that explosive. You looked at the Charger game. Chargers dominated the Dolphins. This is a close game because of the explosive fumble return by Tyreek Hill and the bomb that Tua landed. And Tua was bad last week, only completing 10 passes. You complete 10 passes in Buffalo, you're going to get trounced. Tua has had 2 bad games in a row, and they're talking about, well, the bloom is off the rose. I think Tua plays a lot better. It's not enough. Now, it's going to be interesting the way Mostert and Singletary running between the tackles. Can either team get their running game going? These are 2 teams that like to throw the ball, but who's going to be patient enough? And can Allen and Singletary and Cook give them enough yards to move the chains and get the W done? They got to deal with Hill. They have a fantastic secondary, but listen, the way the Niners and the way the Chargers played Tyreek Hill is how you're going to have to play going forward. Now, can the Dolphins make the adjustment? Because they play both teams, like the Niners just got after Tua. But the Chargers schemed that up when they had their safeties and corners play a little off, and they took away the cross arounds. And one time I saw Tua throw the ball. There was 4 guys around Hill. So Waddle's got to get going, and they got to get the ball there tight end. Mostert out of the backfield, maybe a couple screens to deal with that pass rush. And the Bills' pass rush with Russo and all those dudes are really good. So the Dolphins are going to have to make adjustments. But I just think the Bills are going to find a way to win. You got Diggs playing, and Diggs versus Rhodes. That's always a great matchup. But something that the Bills are going to have to make adjustments is the others are going to have to make plays. Can the others get the job done? That's what I want to see. With Knox. Can Knox take care of business? Dawson Knox is going to be huge. He made some good plays last week. If they're gonna game plan around. You know what the X factor is? I do want to put this before I talk about the others. Jordan Phillips is that inside pass rush on Tua. He's a great pass rusher for the Bills. The Bills are solid. With Von Miller, if Von Miller could have came back, that guarantees me my pick of Buffalo going to the Super Bowl earlier. I'm not sure yet. I got to see a little more before the end of the year. But I do think what an important tool is Gabe Davis. Gabe Davis has got to have a big game. And they have to have it. And maybe Kumaro and Davis, they're going to have to be big. And then even, you know what? I'll say this. Even Naheem Hines out of the backfield, he was a great pass catcher for the Colts, and the Bills have him. They're going to have to, if Rhodes is doing what he does on Diggs, or if they put Rhodes and maybe bracket another safety over the top to dare Josh Allen to throw the ball to somebody else, the others have to shine, because if they get going, that gives up one-on-one coverage. And now can Miami's pass rush get to Josh Allen? And you got to play your lanes, because it could be 3rd and 6 and Allen can get you 20 because he's cutting back. He's not running out of bounds. And he's looking to run you over, and he's looking to get you going. As far as your ability to, now you got to honor his running. Now that allows Diggs to go over the top. So there's a lot of problems that both teams have to deal with. I just think because of the elements, I think Buffalo's a tick better. Buffalo will win, and that'll win the division. If they lose, that Miami's a game back with a half a game back, basically, because they beat Buffalo twice. If they end up, if Miami runs the table and Buffalo loses at Cincinnati, you got to go through South Beach through the playoffs. That's a whole different world. Maybe I need to go down there and do a show if that happens. But I expect the Bills to win the division, and then the home field advantage is in play. Another big game is the Titans and Chargers. The Chargers are going to win this game at home. Titans are reeling, and Jacksonville's on their heels, and they're going to lose this game. I like Justin Herbert. Everybody talks about Burrow, and they have Mahomes and Burrow. Herbert is every bit as good. He has more arm talent, and he's clutch like Burrow. He doesn't have Burrow's resume. He's an assassin like Burrow, but Burrow's been there. Herbert has to get there for me to say, hey, man, this guy's better than Burrow. I can't say that yet. I believe he is there, right, with Burrow, and can be better than Burrow if he can make a run in the playoffs. He has better arm talent. This guy he's the best thrower of the football. Him and Mahomes are the two best. Now that Rodgers is a little older, these are the two best throwers of the football in the game right now. And I'm going to tell you something. I listened to a Chief fan who has a TV show. Listen, he said, I'm nervous about Cincinnati, and I think we can beat the Bills. I'm real scared of the Chargers, because the Chargers gave the Chiefs trouble both times. Chiefs beat them. And the Chargers are that team that could get in the playoffs as a wild card And if they can deal with the cold of Buffalo or deal with the cold of Cincinnati, and guys are coming back like Bosa, and they have their Williams and Allen are there with the way that Eckert can carry the ball, and he might break the records for most receiving yards of running back, how you can run between the tackles. And their safety comes back. Watch out. Watch out. They're that sleeper team. I'm gonna put them in. I had them in the AFC Championship game losing to Buffalo. They can still get there. They can still make a run. They're gonna beat the Titans this week. I think they're gonna load up on Henry. They're gonna dare. They're gonna dare Tannehill to throw the ball. Woods has got to be big. But we'll see. I just think the Chargers are going to win and move on and get even closer. Now, I believe the Eagles will beat the Bears. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough game at 1 o'clock. I won't say it's a trap game. Eagles been focused all year long. The Redskins just played. Washington played over the heads. But the Eagles have been great all year. The most consistent team. I need to give the Eagles their proper respect. So I talked about Dallas and the Niners. They've played like the best team in the league, and at this point, they are. I don't know if they're going to Super Bowl. I'm going to wait and see how the year plays out, but they're going to find a way to get past the Bears in a close game, I believe. And if they could run the table, say if they're going to say lose to the Cowboys in Dallas, if they run the table the rest of the year, they still win the division. Now, the Cowboys and Jaguars are interesting. A lot of people are like, oh, the Cowboys played bad last week. They better come to play or they're going to lose to the Jaguars. The problem now, the Jaguars beat the Cowboys. They have a chance to win the division. This is why I think the Cowboys are going to win. You're going to get the Cowboys A game. I think the Cowboys got enough fear by the way the Jaguars are playing. They destroyed Tennessee, and the Jaguars are in Jacksonville. I think you're going to get at the least the Cowboys B plus A minus game. I just think that Dak and company are going to play well, but Jacksonville's going to play well because ever since week 9, Trevor Lawrence has 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's completed 70% of his passes, and his passer rating is way over 100. I think 114 since week 9. He has found himself, and they found themselves a team. And I said before the season, this is my sleeper team to win the division. I picked them to win the division. They have to beat the Cowboys to win the division. They're not going to beat the Cowboys, unfortunately. I think they're going to come up a little short. This is going to be one of the best games of the day. It's going to be back and forth. Dak is going to lead the Cowboys down the field for another game-winning drive. Gallup, the best route runner, might make that play. Schultz is solid in the red zone. They'll run it enough where they'll have some time of possession drive. They'll keep Lawrence off the field. And Dallas's pass rush has diminished a little. It's depreciated. They have to kind of get that back on. You better put pressure on Lawrence, and you better make sure he don't run out of the pocket. He's very good out of the pocket. He's found himself. He was great in college as far as being accurate. Now he's that guy now. Woo! He's up there with Herbert and Burrow. Those are your next level, next generation dudes. But I like Dallas to win this game. The next really big game is the Jets and I think the Bengals beat the Buccaneers. I'm not even going to get into that. Giants and Commanders are big. Whoever wins this game, this is so tight. My heart, because I always admired the Giants, would say the Giants, but Washington's on a roll. Washington really gave them trouble. They felt like they should have won that game. They're at Washington. My heart says Giants. My head says Washington. But another really big game, and this probably is a playoff game for both teams, Jets and Lions. The Jets play Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's got to get off to a good start because White's out with an injury. And you know, Zach Wilson's their option. Zach Wilson could get back in the good graces. If they win the game and Zach Wilson balls out, now he's back in the good graces with the fans. He wasn't accurate. He just looked like he hasn't been ready. He's got Mahomes type of moves, but he's a knockoff of Mahomes. And he's got to be able to have the ability to read defenses better. The New England game was ridiculous, but the Lions are on fire. They play a physical. They take the attitude of their coach Dan Campbell, just tough, physical, mean. And Goff has kind of found himself. I didn't like Goff on the Rams. I'm liking him the way he throws the ball, 22 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Swift is run the ball physical. And the most underrated receiver is Racing Amora St. Brown. Most underrated receiver in the NFL, balling out. The Jets got one too, and Garrett Wilson. Really, really important that this is a game that's going down to the wire. The Lions are trending up, and the Jets are level because they had to play 2 tough teams and they've lost games to the Bills and the Patriots. But let me tell you something. They got to win this game because of the way the Chargers are playing and the Patriots and that divisions, and they lost twice to the Patriots. They split with the Bills. And they got to go to Miami. I don't like their chances in South Beach. They got to win this game. If they lose this game, they're not going to make the playoffs. If the Lions lose the game, they're probably not going to win the playoffs. If they win this game, they make the playoffs and knock off the loser of the Giants and Redskins. So man, this weekend is awesome. I hope you enjoy this YouTube podcast. I hope you can take heed to my little wisdom nuggets that I put in there going forward. Hopefully you like and subscribe. I'm going to bring it every time. I'm going to be on Clubhouse. I'm trying to get on 9:30 a.m. in New York City. I'm working on that. I'm trying to just give you the truth. That's why I say it's the truth. Tell the Truth Sports Radio. I'm trying to build momentum. I love the fans that are giving me love after the interview with the Buffalo historian. So I'm just it's up to me to just bring it every show.